Okay. So, season five's finally over. The whole breakup between part one and part two because of COVID, it's done. It's in our hand. How do I put this gently? I have the same issue with the Lucifer series that I've had since season one, when it was on CBS or whatever channel it was, Fox? Whatever channel was on before Netflix picked it up. My issue with the series is this. By itself, if the Lucifer TV show was just about the devil got bored, he went up to LA, he met Detective Decker, and they're doing stuff together, it's its own thing out there somewhere, that'd be fine. But it's the fact that every once in a while, the Lucifer series decides to remind you, in a way, that it's a part of the DC universe. For instance, the crossover. While I love Tom Ellis, the dude is absolutely fantastic. When he's on screen as Lucifer and he's on screen as Michael, sometimes I completely forget that they're two completely different, like it's the same actor playing two completely different characters. He's great. I absolutely love the cast. But as someone who's read the Sandman series, who's delved into DC Black Label / Vertigo, being reminded that like this character is based off of the character from Sandman and DC Black, it annoys me. Like, it doesn't annoy me to the point where it takes me out of the show, because the show is absolutely great. It hits the right emotional beats, even if I feel sometimes it still treads on that same will they, won't they get together thing, which happens. The beginning of this season, I feel as though it was a good cap on the relationship, and I would have loved to see the relationship just proceed from there. Instead, it kind of fell back into that whole, but I'm not worthy of this person because this person is the devil, and I'm not worthy of her because she's a human and she was a miracle made for me, and blah blah blah. It's the same emotional bullshit we've been dealing with for like the last 3 seasons. I'm kind of tired of it, and I'm kind of happy at the fact that this season killed that trope. Like, that trope's dead. It shouldn't come back at all. If it comes back next season, I'm gonna be super pissed off. But at a point in this series, Michael shows up. And the issue that's going to happen is there needs to be a new god. Somebody needs to sit in the big chair. Michael has his followers. Lucifer, of course, has his followers as well. And they get into a fight. And it's so bad. Like, I sat there watching them fight, and then like this really emotional situation was supposed to happen, and I didn't really take it seriously. And I started to realize the reason why I wasn't taking it seriously is because this Lucifer is the Lucifer from Sandman. He's the Lucifer who can create his own universe. The Lucifer who can travel forward and backward in time. The Lucifer who's omnipotent, omniscient. He's everywhere and sees everything at all times. It's the Lucifer who, when you die, he can choose where your soul's gonna go. If he chooses to let your soul go to heaven, it goes there. If he chooses to let your soul go to hell, it goes there. If he doesn't want you to go to either, and he just wants to just instantly reincarnate you, he can do that as well. Then speed up your time clock and put you back in a body as an adult with all of your memories. Like, the Lucifer that they're saying this Lucifer is, he never measures up. He's just like this dude who just happens to be the devil. And you enjoy like the snideness of his character, his wittiness, like how trollish he is. But then, like, if you're not familiar with the material he's based on, you're like, oh, this dude's great. Like, he's going through familial drama, and he feels parental betrayal, and I can relate to him and how he feels, and yada yada yada. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, he feels all that. But when this character dies, snap of his finger, he should be able to bring her back. When another character dies, snap of his finger, he should have been able to bring that person back. And that doesn't happen. So you end up, as a fan who's read the comics, you end up being kind of pissed off. And you're constantly reminded, because of Crisis on Infinite Earths, when he made his cameo, that it's like, yes, that is that Lucifer. But then, that version of Lucifer who showed up in Crisis, he used the abilities of the Lucifer from the comics. He creates a card out of thin air and hands it to John Constantine. He teleports 3 people to the realm of death. He resurrects Oliver and brings him back to life. He protects them in the realm of death from the realm of death, because if you're a human, you can't go to the realm of death, otherwise you die. But like, on his own show, he doesn't do any of that. And it's like, well, what's the point? It's like he's watered down in his show, but then DC Comics, like, when the Anti-Monitor destroyed the universe, Lucifer should have just been like chilling on a chair, because he's seen into the future and he knows the heroes are going to fix the situation. This Lucifer doesn't do any of that. And I think that's one of the reasons why, even though I love the show, it also annoys the shit out of me. So this season, it's good. It's a good season. I enjoyed this season of the show. But it's the same issues I've had with the show since way back. When Michael shows up in the beginning half of season 5, him and Lucifer fighting should have leveled the entire planet. Him, Lucifer, and Amenadiel should have leveled the entire planet. Like, time should have fractured. The city should have been on fire, because they're cosmic entities. Cosmic entities, like, punching Lucifer through a glass pane should have fractured time. Should have wiped out the entire building. But you never get that. And I don't know if it's a budget limitation, or if they want to have him be more grounded in his own show. But I'm really hoping that going into the future, if we get a season 6, because every single season they say this is a series finale, and then we end up getting another season anyway because it's super popular. But going into season 6, if season 6 is going to be the final season, I'm really hoping they show the more cosmic side of the series. The cosmic side of the series is fantastic. I love it. And I think people would also fucking enjoy it as well. But that's it. Like, Lucifer, season number 5, part 2, it's great. I love it. It's extremely good. It's emotional. It hit me in the chest a ton of times. But I have the same problem with it that I've had since season 1, which is, it is a great show, but it is a poor adaptation. That's it. That's the video. Peace.